Hey everyone. Thanks for joining us on this lovely Wednesday for me and most people listening, I think. The title of this community call is Base, when zkSync. And thanks for joining me up here on stage, Dixie and Dylan. How are y'all?
Good. How's it going?
Good. So, Dixie, are you available?
I have a feeling he's dealing with mic issues.
I have that feeling too. Because I wanted to ask him when zkSync, which is a legitimate question in this case.
Is the answer not always soon, TM?
This is fair, but like we've done the honor of stretching the word soon out into like a longer explanation that ChatGPT generated. So we thought we'd share that
Hello.
just to be satisfying.
Hey, Paul, we can hear you there.
Good. How you going?
Good, man. So yeah, we had chatted about Dixie, we had chatted about the zkSync pause today in our channels. Yeah, what's kind of the current status? You actually hinted that maybe there was a resolution in sight nearby. But yeah, I'd love to hear kind of the current status and maybe as much explanation as you'd like to offer.
Yeah, so I guess maybe what I can just do is give a little bit of a background to what's happened. Like obviously we've had zkSync disabled since I think it was Friday last week. And actually, incidentally, in the call last week, at the same time, I actually discussed a little bit about how we have this in Across, we have this kind of heightened sensitivity to what the RPC providers deliver. So Across has these bots and they are very, very heavy in terms of the data that they request from the RPC providers. And we have a special sensitivity because we're having to do like periodic settlement for transfers made on Across. We actually need to make sure that like when we query back for a complete set of like all of the deposits and fills that were made over a certain time period, like we need to make sure that set of data is complete and is also correct. And so what we do with that is we actually query multiple different providers. And then we kind of compare all of the results to make sure that no individual provider is potentially giving us bad data or incomplete data or anything like that. And it also is, there's also like a bit of a redundancy kind of thing there as well. Like sometimes a provider might go down, and so like in that case we'll rotate across to another. So we've got this kind of fairly kind of sophisticated set of tooling that allows us to like roam across different providers, and we just make sure that they all agree before we actually like use the data. And so I'm sorry.
Let me just pause for 1 second. So the reason that we are so diligent on that and checking for this, you mentioned that Across has like a special sensitivity, and I'm guessing that maybe this has to do with the optimistic design and about refunding relayers or something. So yeah, I just wanted to understand if I got that correctly, that this is kind of like particular to Across, perhaps this special sensitivity to this need.
Yeah, 100%. Because I mean, like part of the capital efficient design of Across is that we are cycling the capital every 2 hours. So what happens is that the relayers will go out and they will look. They kind of go like hunting basically, and for deposit events that is when someone deposits on one chain and then they want to get funds on another chain, and these relayers are all like out there looking for these events, and then they'll like go and optimistically make a fill, and they're doing that in anticipation of getting a refund. And then we have this separate process that goes along, and it kind of collates all of the fills that it can find and all of the deposits that it can find, and it actually matches them up and makes sure that they match 100%. And in the cases where they match, then it says, okay, I'm going to issue a refund to that relayer, and I'm going to collect some LP fees for the LP, and I'm going to move some funds around to different spoke pools and all of these kinds of things. And so it's absolutely critical for that process that we're not like missing some events. And we have occasionally seen like some of these RPC providers are in the business of like scaling their infrastructure, and so what they tend to do is they put like different layers in front of their Ethereum, nodes and their Arbitrum node and Optimism node. And so they've got these kind of indexes that go through, and it kind of acts like a database basically. And sometimes if they have some kind of issue, maybe they like drop an event and they actually don't miss, or they don't collect that event. And so then when we query it, we also don't get it. And so this kind of comparison check step that we have, it actually gives us the capability of saying like, oh, it looks like a provider is not quite giving us complete data here, or maybe they're giving us incorrect data. And it's really just to make sure that when we do that 2-hour settlement, that we have confidence that we're proposing a complete set of data and a complete set of refunds and slow fills and all of these sort of things.
Next question, is Risk Labs the most cautious and like conservative with others' funds protocol in Web3? Because I think it might be.
It's difficult for me to say, but one thing we kind of do feel a little bit like the canaries sometimes that go off, and we have, because of our heavy data consumption with these RPC providers, we actually have like kind of scale or enterprise plans with some of them, and so then with that you actually get these like kind of private groups with some of the staff at the provider, and you can kind of like just drop a message to them and say like, hey, we're having a problem here. What we actually find is that sometimes like it's not uncommon actually for us to like be the ones who are alerting to an issue, because what will happen on our end is that we'll detect some discrepancy and someone's phone will start alerting and saying like, hey, we've got an issue here, we weren't able to complete the proposal run, or we weren't able to fill a relay or something like that. Like, we're very sensitive, and so that kind of ripples up, and I often find that we are very early, or if not the first, to report different kinds of issues. So I think it shows that we have a heightened sensitivity, and I think that implicitly will make us pretty conservative about what we do with users' funds.
For sure. Yep. And I appreciate that we have always made that a priority, because as much as I don't like messaging that zkSync is down for an indeterminate period of time, that's nothing compared to messaging about loss of funds. So yeah, we're happy with that timeline.
Yeah, and so I guess like on that, so what happened was, because of this alerting and reporting that we have in place, we started detecting some issues on zkSync kind of very late last week, and it was basically just disagreements between the different RPC providers, because as with every other chain, like, we have multiple providers in place, and we just started noticing some discrepancies, and we escalated that to the various providers that we have, and we also have a channel with Matter Labs as well, and we just started kind of reporting some of this. And they basically took that off and have done some investigation work, and we've been providing feedback kind of throughout that period. And there will be like an update that zkSync will be, or Matter Labs will be shipping to these different providers, which we're told should fix these issues that we've detected. We don't want to commit to a specific time frame because there's still some kind of testing that needs to be done, but we are hoping very soon that we can re-enable zkSync. We just need to do our kind of proper process to verify that the issues that we detected before have now been resolved.
I was just giving a really thoughtful reply and then realized I was muted. No, I appreciate having the color behind that and understanding kind of what's going on. And like, yeah, I don't want to maybe dig super, deeper into this, but I just think it's, it's interesting. If anything's paused on chain as well, it's like, or something sort of like doesn't work because of a centralized provider, you start asking these questions. But once you dig into it, you understand what we're talking about here. But maybe my final quick question, and I won't hammer this too much, is there like a is there a decentralized version of these node providers, and would that have made a difference in this case?
So, I mean, there are a variety of different providers. There's obviously like the big ones like Infura and Alchemy, and then there's like a lot of other providers. QuickNode is one of the ones that we've been using as well. And there are some projects that have spun up, basically just as a Web3 project to say, like, can we run decentralized infrastructure? So I'm aware that there are some. We're not using any of those. But I think that the issue was that, from what I've understood, the issue was really with the software that was used. So it didn't necessarily mean that you could have mitigated the issue by running it in a different way. It seemed to be inherent in some kind of a change that was delivered to the providers. So I would expect in that scenario that this issue would have been kind of replicated across anyone who was running that software. And really, like, just to circle back to us, like, we actually haven't seen any invalid fills. We haven't seen any missing data or anything like that. So, like, disabling zkSync routes in across was really just done out of an abundance of caution. Simply just because we've got this signal that's popping up saying, like, hey, we're seeing some disagreements on some certain things. We just want to kind of make sure that we report it and get a confirmation that the issues are resolved before we re-enable.
Yep, I hear that. Thanks for the color, Dixie. I appreciate it. Hi, Amanda. I know it's quite late for you. How you doing?
Hey everyone. Yeah, sorry to make the mood not so great. I'm so sorry guys. Like I'm trying so hard to get in touch with the Goal 3 team, but I'm not able to get a hold of them. I mean, we had everything scheduled and I don't
How
know what's happening. So
how well do
sorry.
you know how well do you know their project?
No, not well. Like it's a sports betting book. I've never bet on sports before. I don't know if you guys
Maybe
have.
maybe what we should do is pretend that you're from Goal 3, and I'll ask you questions, and you just make things up. And that's the punishment for missing a call, is you just get like this random message about what you are that's just completely made up.
Oh, yeah, if it wasn't 1 a.m., I'd have like the wits to pull it off. I wish, but um I feel like I'm talking like man speak right now. I don't know, guys.
Well, how's since we have a minute?
ChatGPT. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, James. Yeah, we need some ChatGPT.
Well, we don't need to keep you hanging on for too long, Amanda. I appreciate you popping in, but maybe you want to make a comment about how the Korean blockchain week is right now, right?
Yeah, so I went to Korea Blockchain Week. Someone that I met kind of summed it up very well that the Korean crypto conferences tend to focus on the retail investor, and then we have Token 2049 coming up in Singapore next week, which is like alongside the F1 race, and that's more institutional. So what can I say? Yeah, it just seems like this is like the little brother of the two conferences. And the cool thing though is that they're doing more NFT focused end of the week. And I went to like an event tonight that just had like a lot of incredible pieces, just very well done. I mean, I know we just are token bridge and we deal a lot with like DeFi protocols and or the finance side of things in Web3, but yeah, it's hard to not just like fall in love with NFTs and really start believing in it when you go to like these almost physical metaverses as they say. I don't know. They do a very good job.
No,
I know, sorry.
don't do it, Amanda. No.
But yeah, it's been cool. Rest of the week will just be events and
Um,
yeah, it's been fun.
nice. Right on. That's very cool. I went to Korean Blockchain Week several years ago. First time I saw Vitalik and met Spartan Capital. And there's a point from my life that I needed to share with y'all. Cool. Well, Amanda, for my part, with regard to agenda-wise, we have cross-related topics to continue on. Is there anything else that we'll do? We'll do the wheel spin at the end of the call. Is there anything else that we need? Any other
No, I
buttons I
just
need to push?
wanted to maybe just remind it or thank everyone for like being so supportive of the ZK campaign. Like as a team too, we do find it like just funny that we're doing this massive campaign and there's been a bit of a pause in the root support, which, yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, thanks everyone for joining the spaces. We have 2 more coming up this week, and hopefully we can do like a makeup one with goal 3 too. I'm sure they have like a reasonable explanation. But we have one tomorrow with Basilisk. That's another makeup. And we'll have one on Friday with the team from Dmail. That is really interesting. They are like a new email service, like AI assisted email service that already has like 2 million downloads, I believe, or 2 million signups. Like, yeah, they're doing really well. Massive project based on zkSync. So that's going to be interesting. And yeah, goal 3 would have been so much fun because this community, we love our fantasy leagues, a lot of sports fans amongst us, and EA Sports that he uses School 3 all the time. Yeah, Nico so much. And Nico's been such a good
Oh yeah.
co-host. Like, and Nico, I think you were born for this. I think you were born to be a host. But yeah, sorry about Gold, but that's pretty much it. And yeah, we're launched on base. Like, let's go. Did we talk about that at the beginning? Did we have like a big powwow about that? Like, yeah, and I just
Yeah,
missed it.
Amanda. No, not enough. Yeah, we launched on base. It's freaking cool, and it's cool because we did it quickly after zkSync too.
Yes, I know the floodgates have opened. I'm curious to just look at people in the chat and see like how their experience has been with base and maybe ask Dylan and Ryan, not to sorry, Dylan and Chase, like not to put you guys on the spot, but any stats in regards to base?
Yeah,
How did I know that was
Dylan
coming
grabbed
up?
the stat, so I'm gonna let him say it. I'm not gonna jump the gun on him.
Uh-oh,
Cheers, cheers.
sorry.
No, it's all good. When the data's this fresh, it like hasn't fully trickled through our kind of like pipeline yet. So like I don't even have pricing data for today in there. Everything kind of works on a little bit of a lag. But we had approx 869k in stables and 70 ETH. So that's a total of 985k that came from base to all of our other various.
Let's call it a million, Dylan.
Yeah, okay, 1 mil
Whoa.
from base and very little went to it. Yeah, that's what we're starting off with. And considering that the aggregators are starting to support us now for it, we should see that get kind of like exponentially bigger over the next few days. But that's already, I think, bigger than the first day of zkSync. So that kind of just tells you where the attention of the cryptoverse is at. So yeah, the fact that we're supporting it there and we're going to be going toe to toe with the likes of Big Bad, Stargate, and Hop. Yeah, we're going to hopefully be able to punch well above our weight. Because yeah, we've shown that we can do that, especially in the likes of aggregators so far. So yeah, LFG.
Yeah. Bridge is
It is.
across is
It's
freaking cool.
incredibly capitally efficient. I imagine there might be some really cool threads coming out in the not so distant future for some rather influential accounts that might help support that. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled.
You're like hinting at this covert comm stuff that presumably I would know about, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nice
but I'm
saved.
excited.
Right, I'll shut up now.
Yeah, wait. This is like classic Clayton. Is like reveal information that someone else didn't want you to reveal, and then like run with it. You should be like congratulating Dylan on learning from you.
I gotta say, like a bit random, but I always check the DeFi Llama bridge list just to see where we're at. And for the longest time, we were always just like, for some reason, coincidentally, always doing like 10% of Stargate volume, and now it's really creeping up there. They're at like 36 mil. We're at like 8.5 or wait, 8.2. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's
I'd
a
say the
nice
airdrop
little,
farmers
that's a nice little
are
day
yeah,
for us, huh?
yeah,
Yeah, this is really
decent.
good. Oh.
been to take a moment to reminisce. It's been a cool journey, just being on this project and starting very much as the underdog, and then also having all of these major projects adjacent to across collapse and kind of what happens after that. And then now we're just really feels like we're in this like solidly in second place kind of vibe, and with just like very promising technology. It's pretty cool. It feels like we're writing a graphic novel or something.
Writing a what kind of novel? I didn't quite get that.
A graphic novel? I don't. I trailed off because my idea got weird, but essentially, I like the storytelling associated with the cross. Cool.
That's been a cool
It's
journey.
been a cool journey. That's what I'm trying to say.
Anything else on the data side? I'm looking like what
What else?
messaged you. Remind people. Oh, did we have a chat about the velodrome pools and the balancer move?
Yeah, like just generally, I'll just fill in the opportunities around liquidity provision. My understanding is presently there is 50% APY paid out on Velodrome for ETH-ACX liquidity. So that's on Optimism. You would bridge your assets there with whatever is your preferred bridge, and then stake those tokens on Velodrome. Yeah, so that's 50% APY last time I checked. Then there's also the mainnet liquidity provision opportunities, which if you participated in Aura before, you will want to move your balancer pool tokens off of Aura and onto the reward locking page. As I checked today, the Aura was paying out 16%, and it's degrading quickly. And then, of course, the reward locking. Actually, I'm not really sure where that number was. I remember that number jumped, actually. Maybe, Amanda, you have more color on what happened with the reward locking APY on the
I actually feel like
on the
Dixie might have
website.
more, but I think it was just that balancer was like pushing out like incorrect APYs. That's all it was. And so like it was more like a front end issue.
But so I'm looking right now at it. Okay. Like I'm looking at our reward locking page, and it says 97% APY, minimum, maximum 293. Does that not seem high?
I think now it's still okay.
Too
I
high?
think it was just like not enough of the balancer liquidity has actually like transferred over yet. So it's still really high. That's to like keep giving out these reminders for
Right.
people who have just like I guess forgotten about it.
I mean, it's interesting though that there's such a discrepancy between those APYs. Like, why wouldn't anyone on Velodrome come over here and LP here, you know? I mean, I guess it depends on size, right? Because it's mainnet transactions.
Yeah.
But cool. So those are the opportunities. Did we cover all the high points on the
Yeah,
liquidity
just
bit,
a
Amanda?
reminder, and in case you think like maybe you don't have any position, just go and check it out. If you hold ACX, you might have one of these positions and it's not doing anything for you unless you transfer it over to across.to.
Good call. Governance update, question mark. I would have to make up information to answer you, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to admit that I don't really know what's
Yeah,
going
in
on
terms
most recently with
to like
governance.
Brit is OOO, so I think we'd have to find out from her. Sorry that we don't have
Right.
that.
Neondaemon is raising his hand, which I appreciate. I think he's going to come save us.
Hello. Hey, we're in
Hey, Neon.
the setting up stage of the committee. We're not a committee exactly yet. We need to do the proposal for the committee. So we've met a couple of times and we're just getting the proposal ready. We're hoping to do that in the next couple of weeks or less, because then we could do the first 3 months, October, November, December, which would be kind of nice for the last quarter of this year. So watch out for the proposal in a couple of weeks. We're meeting every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. UTC in the committee's voice channel here. So if anybody, it's open to anybody who wants to know what's going on, and they can even contribute as well about what the committee should be doing. So that's just a quick update.
Thanks, Neon. And yeah, you're hired for your committee, because having you just like pop on stage to fill in
No
was
worries.
pleasing. So appreciate that. Cool. So let's see. James asked if we can get a fun data fact from the Dart team.
That's a low blow, James. Now we have to go scramble and find something.
Right? You don't just carry around fun data facts like in some sort of like
Okay, here's a
RAM
fun
memory
fact.
in your brain.
3 presidents, all founding fathers, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe, died on July 4th. Adams and Jefferson also died on the same year. Monroe died 5 years later.
Be honest, he didn't specify what data
was
we were to give a
fun,
fun
yeah.
fact about, so Chase
That's
just
amazing.
absolutely nailed that
Thank you,
there.
ChatGPT.
That was fun.
Yes.
Wait, was that was ChatGPT, Chase?
I couldn't even get the tab open that quick. It just shows you how much of a pro
pretty good.
Chase is. He just like immediately went for
Or it
ChatGPT.
tells you that I'm so dumb that I have to keep ChatGPT open all day. Your choice.
Yep.
I mean, the fact that I didn't pick up on it, I think,
The
yeah,
robotic reading from the screen
good
didn't give it
company.
away, no? It wasn't even Chase talking, he's just installed a
No.
voiceover plugin.
The ChatGPT plugin that I built for myself just reads ChatGPT in all of my calls.
Yes. We could just have a forever community call. It would just be all the ChatGPTs of us just talking endlessly like this, but it never actually ends.
Okay, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
and
find
I'm
a...
not. Sorry, I'm probably going to head out then. Sorry, guys. I'm not hearing anything from the Goal 3 team. Sorry to everyone in the audience looking out for that. I think they might be in Asia time, and it's also 1:30 a.m. for them. So, yeah, sorry about that. And yeah, see you guys soon.
No sorries. Yeah, all good, Amanda. Really appreciate you popping in and filling us in on
Good
the
night,
status.
guys. Thank you.
Good night. Go meet the integrations in person and charm them. Awesome. So James, Dixie, any final closing comments? I think we'll just keep this a short one. No reason to stretch it out.
I just want to say again that Dixie is, and just the team we've had, we've been on the ball with a lot of these PagerDuty or just pages that come up due to the zkSync sensitivity. And I just want to give a shout out to basically the team for coming out of this with minimal downtime and as good as we can get as far as outcomes. So yeah, I just wanted to say good job, team, and good job, community, and good job, everybody.
Thanks, James. That was heartwarming and also reflective of culture of calling people out when they do good stuff. So yeah, appreciate that. I mean, compliment for them, not
And
from
good job, Clayton.
Yeah, I clicked start meeting, start call, and here we are. Right on. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap, unless anyone wants to cut me off and share a fun data fact. Let's wrap. Okay. Well, thanks everyone. I guess we still need to do the wheel spin though. That bit I don't actually know how to do. So I'm not going to keep us live on the call and do that though. I will do that asynchronously. and I will play our outgoing song. Give me just a moment. The outgoing song was chosen by Amanda earlier today, so